Hey guys, Carey Hodsden here, PGA at X Golf Chesapeake. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the release. Now, we've talked about the release a couple of times with regard to how we try to point the club right through the impact area. When we're coming down and around, we try to point the club just inside the ball. So from your point of view, you would feel like your hands, when you're coming into the golf ball here, they're going to point down, right, just inside the golf ball. Now the club is actually going to be at the golf ball, but you're going to point your hands down just inside the golf ball in this kind of area right here, okay? So that's a lesson that we've kind of done a little bit with the full swing on how we kind of point and get that point of extension through impact, okay? And then we also use that for our pitching to make sure that the club gets flat on the ground as it's going through the ball, to make sure that it makes solid contact all the way through, and you're not jamming the heel or the toe into the ground as you're trying to flip the club through or anything like that. So it's important to remember that aspect of the release. Now I want to talk about another aspect of the release, which I think is really important. And it's going to have to do a little bit with how we kind of swing forward, kind of where the backswing goes, but primarily how we're going to swing forward from that backswing position. Now, I've done other videos already to kind of tell you how we kind of go around our body, right, to get into the backswing position. So we're going around our body back here to get into the backswing position. We're not going up and separating our arms. We're going around. So that means that when we come back through, we're also going to go around again. How do you do that? That's the big question. People get really confused about trying to come from the inside to hit a golf ball, okay? They try to come from inside here to hit the golf ball, but they don't understand how their legs work in relation. Most people do what we call come over the top to hit the golf ball. Interestingly enough, I kind of want you to feel that way, but not with your shoulders. I kind of want you to feel that way with your hips. Okay, so to do that, you're going to feel like when you get this club back here, like we talked about, you're going to get it back here behind you or to the side of you, right? We're here, we're going to go back, and this club's going to get to the side of us over here, okay? We're staying connected up here with our bicep and our right pec, just like we talked about before, but we're also getting this club back to the right position, kind of going behind us. Then the club comes back down to our side, and then we hit from the side by pointing the club at the last second there. Now, to get into that position where we're hitting, you need to feel like you're firing your right hip. Now, you may have heard recently when Rory McIlroy just won the Masters, his biggest swing key is firing his right hip from the top of the golf swing, okay? He tries to fire that sucker through, and what that does is that creates this whip. His body follows behind it, his body, his chest lag, his right hip lags, although he fires it over here. His arms, they appear to be behind him, but they're really to the side. And this allows this kind of whipping action by starting the lower body first. You need to feel this, okay? You need to feel like firing the right hip from the top. This is going to really help you. You want to think about your right hip and your right palm hitting the golf ball, even your right knee, your right elbow, your right shoulder, your right foot, everything hitting the golf ball at the same time, which we've kind of talked about from hitting from the side. So when you go back here, we're gonna kind of set up like we would, and we're gonna turn, and then when we get back here to our backswing, our first move is going to be this pivot where we move our legs this way. Now, see how that seems like it throws my club over the top? If you're sort of firing your hips, what we'll call over the top, and you allow your arms to come back down the way they went up, right? We went over here, our forearm bends, our elbow bends 45 degrees to get to the top. Then we need to unroll that as we're firing over the top with our hips, okay? And then this gets you into the position, the hitting position, to where you can then point the club at the golf ball going through, and you'll note that your hands are always going to be forward of the golf ball at impact. This is what you want. because it's going to compress the ball. Your club head is lagging, your hands are forward, and you're hitting the whole thing with your body. This part of your body, this part of your body, okay? So you're driving the golf ball through, okay, driving your body through, and then the club head is lagging here, okay, and then it makes contact when you point it through, and you get that sharp, crisp crunch when you hit the golf ball, and that's what we're looking for. So, real quick sum up, just a quick video here on how you release. Don't forget this, okay? We talked about the pointing. Once again, we're pointing just inside the golf ball with our hands, okay, at the release, and then we're going around our body like we talked about in other videos, and then to start the downswing, we're firing our knees and our right hip to get out in front of us, okay? And then our arm is unraveling just like this on the way down, and we're getting into this position then where as we rotate through, our hands are ahead of the golf ball, okay? The club face is square, and we are applying the hit through here all the way to the end with full extension by extending and pointing the golf club. Hopefully this helps you. I think it will. My name is Carey Hodsden, PGA at X Golf Chesapeake. Hit them long and straight, and we'll see you soon.